afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the At Home Dive YouTube channel. As always, my name is Joey, and today we're in the kitchen making something absolutely fantastic. Today we're making a true favorite for all ages. Today we're going to show you how to consistently make the best chicken strips you've ever had at your house. That's right. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button, and let's dive right in. On the marinade for the chicken strips today, what we have here is we have 1 cup of milk and we have 2 tablespoons of hot sauce and 2 ounces of pickle juice. I'm literally just going to take all these, put them into a container that I feel good about putting in the refrigerator for a couple hours to store, and then just give them a light mix. That's going to help us out here in a minute. So for now, we need to get the chicken. We just have a standard 0.7 pound chicken breast here, and I'm just going to cut it into strips. You can choose whatever size works well for you, but I'm just going to cut it in about 5 even strips. And then I'm going to take the marinade and just place them right into there. Now I'm just going to slosh them around and make sure we get totally coated, and I'm going to put a lid on this and put it in the refrigerator for up to 2 hours and come back and check. Meanwhile, we can go ahead and make our breading. So we have 1 cup of AP flour, we have 2 teaspoons of kosher salt, 1 teaspoon of ground black pepper, 1/2 teaspoon of paprika, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, and 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. And we're simply going to take all of these and put them into one big bowl and mix them up. Now we can set that aside. Next, we're going to go ahead and fill our pot up with oil and get it heating up to 350 degrees. And then that'll give us time to finish getting the things together for the chicken. Next is the egg wash for the breading. So we're gonna start with 1 egg, and I'm gonna put it in a shallow, wide container and just beat it with a fork until fluffy. Once the color's changed and it's lightened up a lot, we're gonna go ahead and add in 2 ounces of milk. Alright, so now that everything's here together, we have the seasoned flour, we have the egg wash that we just made, and we have the marinated chicken strips here, and as you can see, those are doing quite well. So to get started, I want to make sure we keep 1 hand wet and 1 hand dry, and that's going to help us from getting those giant fingers that you get whenever a lot of people bread things. We're going to pick the chicken strips up, and you can see it dripping there, and then we're going to drop it into the flour once it's dripped off a lot of the excess. And once we've got it nice and coated in the flour, we're going to go ahead and shake off the excess and then put it right into the egg wash. We're going to repeat this process with the rest of the chicken tenders. Be sure to let the excess liquid drip, that way you don't end up with a bunch of wet flour over here for your dry hands. Alright, once you have everything transferred back to the egg wash here, we're just going to coat everything and make sure that we don't have any sticky pieces left. We want to make sure everything's nice and wet. And then, just like when we left the marinade to go into the flour, this time we're going to let the excess liquid drain off in the egg wash and do the same exact thing. Except this time, whenever we're done breading them for the second time, we're going to go ahead, give them an extra squeeze just to make sure they soak up all the extra flour they can, and place them over onto the tray that we have here. Alright, so as you can see here, we have 5 nicely breaded, actually really good looking chicken tenders. But while we wait for the oil to heat up and all the rest of the things, or if we have to pause here if we have things going on or whatever, we're going to keep the flour around so that we can rebread the chicken tenders to make sure they don't have any moist pieces on there, because we want them nice and coated well. So our oil is nice and hot, and as you can see here, we have the chicken strips, but if you can see, there's shiny bits starting to form on here and where it looks nice and wet, and that's not a great thing. It's not the end of the world. You could fry them like this, but since we have flour right here, what I'm going to do is I'm literally just going to throw them all in there and give them one more final coating, and that's going to give them that little bit of extra crunch and keep the flour from releasing as much into the oil. So there we have it. Now we have that freshly breaded look that we're ready for. Let's get to frying. We have our chicken strips here, and we have our hot oil. I'm just gonna pick these up and shake the excess flour off back into the bowl. And I'm gonna gently lower these one at a time into the hot oil. If you drop them nice and slow individually, that helps form that crust before they get too close to each other. I like to move these around once I've given them just a second to kind of form their crust. So as you can see here, they got plenty of room. The oil is about the right temperature. We're just gonna let them cook, and this is gonna take a few minutes, but we're not in a hurry. You see here, these are starting to float. That's another great sign that the chicken is almost totally done. Generically speaking, most things, whenever they float well and have the color that you think you're looking for when deep frying, they probably are done. We're gonna go ahead and give these an extra second just to make sure, and then we'll check them. All right, we're nice and golden brown. We have been floating for a little while, so we're gonna go ahead and pull these out now. And as always, we're gonna transfer these with a slotted spoon onto a paper towel to help soak up the excess oil. All right, my friends, and as you can see here are your beautiful golden brown fried chicken tenders. If you're not totally sure if yours are done or not, give it just a second to cool down, but then break one open and just make sure it's totally done in the middle. There is your beautiful golden fried chicken strips with spiced honey mustard. That wraps us up on how to make chicken strips. Comment below and let me know how yours turn out. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you liked the video. Have a great day.